Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Let's get into some news. Let's start off with some technology business news. Uber. We've had our say about Uber and their troubles here on this pod, but it looks like in some new press, they're really starting to have a morale problem. What's going on?
So I think this is not just an Uber issue. This is going to be across all of these Uber's type businesses, high growth, venture backed, thought they're all going to, sky's the limit.
Yep.
Clearly the sky is not the limit.
No.
So think about WeWork, think about Peloton, think about all the most recent IPOs, all these late stage tech companies who are essentially wasting money in many aspects of their business. And this article is really referring to how they have changed the way they operate post IPO, post cost savings. They've obviously laid off a bunch of people, but then these are the things that apparently have really hurt morale.
Yeah.
The first one, which I think is asinine, I would never allow this as CEO.
Okay.
Letting people anonymously ask questions at all hands meetings.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, stupid.
Stupid. I don't care. This is not like, I think people think companies are supposed to run like a democracy.
Yeah.
They're not.
Well, yeah, don't get me wrong.
Well, and I think that's really just faking to the company that everyone has a voice.
Yeah.
And they probably randomly pick a few anonymous questions just to pretend like the
We care
middle
what
level
everyone-
employee they actually care
The
about.
low
Whereas,
level schmuck.
I mean, Uber is like a clear case where they didn't care about anything but what the top.
Yeah, it was a
decided.
monarch.
Yeah, and that's why they were able to grow so fast.
And I'm guessing
And I'm
a
not saying
lot
that's a bad thing to do.
A lot of these ridiculous things probably got put into place after Travis left, right? To show everyone, like, hey, we do care. Travis wasn't anonymously answering shit.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. I think that's a terrible fucking idea, especially anonymously.
Anonymous is the problem.
Dude, if you want to ask a question, stand the fuck up and ask it to my face.
Yeah, agreed.
Anonymous?
You're right. What else? Give us more.
The next one, Starbucks is now in the coffee dispensers. No more craft coffee from Stumptown.
Oh my God. Okay.
So the food and beverage has declined significantly at Uber.
No more giant sticky notes. And no longer handing out Uberversary balloons for your anniversary at the company.
This is a joke.
So our company.
This is a joke.
So when we were growing our companies, we were light on perks because we think it's, we have to be smarter. We're not shitting cash, but we do haircuts. Every 2 weeks?
Yep.
Nails every 2 weeks.
Yep.
Pretty decent assortment of snacks. I mean, I see Pete shoving food in his face every 5 minutes.
Pete's shoving Reckless food in his face. He doesn't work for Reckless.
Don't worry, he's
Send him to
serving
your
5-4
kitchen.
Reckless.
I'm in every kitchen. A lot of kitchens around here.
He's in the customer service kitchen.
Asshole, man. Jeez.
But it's an interesting thing because we are not obligated as employers to provide.
But it became the norm because all these companies had so much money and they had to compete with each other that everyone had to have kombucha, everyone had to have the most expensive coffee.
Yeah.
And really, Google and Facebook set the whole norm for this because you get whatever you want at those companies, but they also are printing money. They have billions and billions of dollars of cash.
They're
and can
burning
afford,
money. They're not printing it. Well,
What?
Google and Facebook are printing.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Google and Facebook can afford to provide the perks. All the other tech companies that were losing money were forced to play the game, but they just didn't have the profits.
I'll
to
tell
do
you
so.
who doesn't have any perks in their office and prints money.
Walmart.
Amazon.
Are you sure?
I was there.
You were probably in like the general area. You're
I
telling
mean-
me Amazon high-level employees don't get like frickin' massages and
Okay, they have a like a country store, country mart type thing where you can buy stuff.
Yeah.
I went to go get water. I was given a mug that someone else clearly had used and washed.
Yeah.
I drank out of it.
That's disgusting.
You're gross.
That's,
Well, guess what?
and
That's
you know
why
what,
Jeff's
Jeff's
gonna win.
The last point on this for me is that Uber's going to have a really tough time recruiting star employees.
But that's all these companies.
Well, all the late stage because the stock is, you're not going to get the pop in stock.
What about WeWork?
I mean, that's going out of business.
What about Peloton?
In terms of what?
It's over.
Peloton stock today went down 10%. Would you?
Cut the stump down.
Yeah.
It's over. This is like a Saturday Night Live skit. The glory days are over.
It's over.
Move on.
It sucks if you're a snack provider to these companies.
Ooh, yeah, they didn't hit.
Those CPG companies are screwed.
Stuff
Like
Town's
what's
gonna
that?
take a
What's that?
hit.
What's that company that is venture backed? Snack Nation.
Yeah,
That's a donut.
Later.
maybe.
Okay. Well, sorry for you guys. Sorry
Okay.
if you're drinking Starbucks like the rest of us. Next up, Charles Schwab has decided to end their trading commission. So Charles Schwab is an online trading platform. It's probably a very bad explanation of exactly what it is, but they always charge commissions. Now with platforms like Robinhood, which is completely free to trade, Charles Schwab has slowly lowered their commissions all the way down to 0. Now, that being said, might sound cool, might sound competitive. Their shares are tanking because of it. It looks like bad news for them. It looks like they're trying to just play catch up here, and it's not working.
So Charles Schwab is one of the old school brokerage houses that has evolved in the digital era. They were one of the first to do the flat trading fees, and still it's a for like a baby boomer. Charles Schwab is a household name.
Yep.
Like you trust your money with Chucky Schwab.
Big time.
Okay,
What's up, Chuck?
they are now thinking about their future. I don't see how any young person is going to Chuck. Every young person.
No.
Or Ameritrade or E-Trade
Chuck
or
is
any
so
of these
corny.
companies.
No,
There's
especially,
no way.
Especially what they're charging. So they were at $4.95 for a trade. Ameritrade was, I think, a bit higher. It is apparently commissions generate $90 to $100 million in quarterly revenue for Schwab. Okay, that is a lot of money. Robinhood does not generate any money from commissions because it's completely free. Does Charles Schwab have the the know-how to operate in this world and figure out how to make money elsewhere? Because the reality is Robinhood doesn't have to make money anytime in the near future.
Well, no, but they do generate revenue. They
Sure,
sell
but-
order flow.
I know, but that's
And-
not enough. They're not doing billions of dollars of
But
order
here's
flow.
here's the real issue. What you're comparing is Robinhood is e-commerce, and Schwab and Ameritrade and E-Trade are brick and mortar retail.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be this long decline because they're not going to get any young customers. And the 25-year-old that's on Robinhood today is going to be trading on Robinhood for the next 30 years.
Yeah.
Schwab, Ameritrade, E-Trade, there's no chance they will ever be able to poach that customer.
Yeah.
None.
I mean,
A new startup could.
How does
Not-
Robinhood eventually make money?
Well, they sell.
but
know,
they're not
but real
selling
money,
any, not
real
real
money,
money.
like-
They're gonna have to be just a modern world financial system for, like, first the youth, because that's
they're going to
exactly
have
on
to
it.
do banking.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do
Traditional
everything.
banking.
Well, they toyed with that already.
Yeah, but
So,
I think that's their path because today they have no reason to make money because they know they're going to get enough funding because people believe they'll eventually figure it out.
Yeah, well, the lock-in is there, so
Yeah.
you're not going to be able. I'd love to see the churn in terms of if you've traded one stock in Robinhood
Yeah.
in your life, have you ever traded a stock on another platform? I
Yeah.
bet you the answer is next to none.
I think a company like Robinhood, who has built trust in the financial services industry, which I would argue very few companies have done. Robinhood could sell me insurance. I'd probably buy it. Robinhood could sell
they're
me.
going to sell all these different financial products longer
Yes.
term.
Yeah, I think that's how they figure it out. Whereas Chuck,
Yeah, it's a slow decline.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not. They're not
Chuck's
going to go out of
over.
business anytime soon. They still
There's-
make a ton of money.
Yeah, and there's
It's just gonna
billions of
take
dollars
time.
under asset management,
Yeah.
and their funds
Yeah,
are
because
selling.
the people that are legacy clients aren't going to
No.
pack up and leave.
You just don't leave.
You're just going to get no new customers.
yeah.
Yeah, no new friends.
Yeah.
No new. Chuck's boring. Listen, get rid of the snacks.
Yeah.
Chuck?
I bet you there's no snacks at Chuck's.
Chuck has shitty coffee.
The irony is
Baguettes.
Robinhood's podcast newsletter is called Robinhood Snacks.
Oh, look at
They're
that.
giving away snacks for free.
Yeah, daily snacks.
Okay. Moving on. Let's talk about Forever 21. The founders of, so first of all, losers.
Yes.
Let's start there.
Con artist.
Con artists. We posted a photo of them being like
In one
$160,000
location.
late in one location on rent, and they got an eviction notice like you do in like a shitty apartment.
Yes.
It looks like in more bad news for these guys. So they officially filed bankruptcy, but it looks like the founders borrowed $10 million from their own daughters to try to keep this thing alive.
Crazy, right?
Crazy. Losers.
And
I really don't get this.
What? What part?
they
So-
were so broke.
They've forget the firm. They personally must have put away so much money because at the peak they were very profitable, and I'm sure that I'd be shocked if they didn't have the liquidity for $10 million bucks.
Their peak sales,
Or $4 billion, right?
$4 billion, and then it's been declining ever since. I think it clocked in like 3.2 last year. I have not heard great things about the founders of Forever 21. I think they would screw their kids.
Yeah, so my point is they had the money and we're like, hey, let's just take $10 million from the
Esther,
trust.
give me your account.
Esther.
That's her name.
What?
Linda and Esther, I think.
Is it really?
Linda and Esther Chang. And they're paying them their own children. Guess what the interest the parents are paying on their $10 million they took? 2%.
That's worse than a CD. You could walk into a Wells Fargo with very limited money and get more than 2%.
Guess what? Linda and Esther's $10 million is gone.
Yeah, they are now unsecured creditors. You know what that means?
10
You're not
cents.
getting paid.
They get 5 cents.
Yeah, maybe.
But you screwed everyone, including your own daughters. That's how this is going to pan out.
And the irony is they were very religious people.
Well,
Yeah, there's
thou shalt
stories
not
that
screw thy daughter.
manufacturers would go to the church of the founders to pitch them for business.
Because they were so religious. But then they would, everyone who's done business with them, they do not have a good reputation.
They have a reputation of being predatory towards their manufacturers, meaning
and their daughters.
yeah.
And honestly, like their failure in LA over the last couple of years and how they've strung along people, our first investor, one of our current investors is Korean. They probably devastated the Korean community in LA because all of their suppliers were Korean back in the day. Yeah. They made so many big suppliers out of all these Korean vendors. And I'm sure a lot of people made a lot of money along the way, but this is devastating for a local company this big.
But why, you said it, but like, why are they had to have made so much cash over the years, right?
They're like, well, Linda and Esther didn't do anything.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Why
so I were they that sharky that they like went after their kids' trust versus then going to their bank account and pulling out the $10 million?
I mean, they made,
They're so rich.
I'm kind of like, I don't know.
I mean, their house in Bel Air has to be worth some godly
and they're
number.
shutting down their kids. The two girls had a wellness brand inside of Forever 21.
No more wellness.
Yeah.
No.
Not doing so wellness.
Oh, man. Okay. So what happens? They just shut down how many, 170 stores?
170 stores in America, and then I think 100 equivalent overseas. I think most of the foreign operations, I think Canada's completely shutting down.
So is there a chance here that they're like gone forever, or you think they'll rebound?
I think they're gone forever within 5 years. I think...
Well, it depends. If management gets overhauled, I think they have a shot.
Look, here's why I don't think they have a shot is the stores that closed in Southern California, I cannot speak for the rest of the country, but it's being reported that Fox Hills, Beverly Center, and Topanga are being shut down. Those are arguably 3 of their most marquee locations.
I would say Beverly Center has been marquee for anyone.
But that
Maybe
Fox Hills store is massive. We used to have a store right near. It's 2 stories. It's huge. It's probably 40,000 square feet, something huge. You know what that tells me? That Fashion Nova made such a massive impact on their business because those Topanga and Fox Hills are not C malls.
Yeah, but I mean, there's also no foot traffic.
No, but there's other retailers in.
I think it's just a perfect storm. I think it's a perfect storm. E-commerce, fast retail, all these different...
But I don't think it's fast retail. I think it's Fashion Nova because that is their customer.
The numbers, I mean...
You're talking about $800 million decline in sales over the last year?
It can't single-handedly be Fashion Nova. Though.
Yeah, no, I think
it can't single-handedly be Fashion Nova.
Think about it. Let's say Fashion Nova hypothetically did $1 billion, okay? Let's just say they did, okay? We don't know their exact number. Fashion Nova in the last 4 or 5 years came from 0 to $1 billion.
Yep.
These guys' sales have declined $1 billion.
I get it.
Who else can you attribute all their decline to?
I get it, but there's a lot of there's a style difference. You know, there's a lot of people that used to go grab like a white tank from
Forever 21 product. I'm telling you, you walk into the store, you'd be like, oh, okay, I get it. They're still on trend and product.
I mean, they also have a flawed business model, expensive leases with retail that's declining.
Yeah,
I know, but
Separate
H&M and Zara shit cash and they do it.
But that's globally. I bet you their U.S. numbers aren't very good.
Okay. Well, guess what? Let's see how our See how our numbers are doing on our ads. Run them. Okay, moving on. Let's get into some good old-fashioned, I'd say, politics and world news. Now, actually, this is another story in the Asian community. There was this lawsuit against Harvard that they were discriminating against, they were discriminating against Asian people. And because their test scores, from how I read it, you can clarify, but because their test scores and everything were high, they were purposely keeping them out so that Harvard wasn't just all Asian people because they're smarter than us.
Yes.
So they kind of dug some stuff up, found out that they were doing this, sued them. Harvard won.
Yeah.
I'm pretty shocked.
I'm not. I think.
Are these people just untouchable? Are big universities untouchable?
No, I think the right decision was made here.
Here's
really?
the thing.
Yeah.
When it comes to Asians and college, we are over-indexed.
Indians
At the
are
best schools, it's all Indian people fall under Asian. Well, there's no need for more Indian people in colleges.
Wait, but you can't. I mean, tell me why you think that that's the right thing.
Yeah, because their argument was that it was
Discrimination.
It was benefiting black students and Hispanic students, and I've always been in favor of underrepresented communities to have more of an opportunity because it's the only way you could break the cycle. You get into Harvard, more likely to have a better job, more likely that your family and your descendants, whether you came from anything.
Agreed.
But
don't you have to say what you're doing?
No, they say that racist plays a role in their admissions process.
But they never said that publicly, right?
No, they did. They just said they make it as one of the many factors.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, well then, never mind on the whole thing then. So then it's, of course...
Yeah, the problem with what Dee's saying, because like private universities can technically dictate who they choose and who they don't choose.
Yeah.
And Asians just feel like, oh, I have higher test scores. The problem, if you think at macro level, on the individual level, it sucks, right? You like had a 1600 on your SAT, perfect score, perfect GPA, played 4 sports, all this. Yeah, on the individual level, it sucks that person didn't get into Harvard.
Yeah.
But if you think of macro, that person probably got into Columbia. Like, it's not like you're going on the streets.
Yeah, you're not going to community college. And so that's why I don't.
But isn't that weird how like trying to end one form of discrimination kind of causes another? It's like you can't really...
But that's the same reason of like, I mean, think about wealth taxes and all that. Like, yeah, macro level, it makes sense. Take more money from the rich people. You go to individual level, like, whoa, you're going to take another $50 million from my inheritance?
Yeah, that's a jam up. That's a jam up. Well, listen, the way I was told the story, it sounded so messed up.
Yeah.
And like Harvard was about to be screwed.
Yeah.
But if they openly say that that's part of their admissions process.
Yeah.
They're allowed to do that.
And they can do whatever they want, meaning like the same way like a store can refuse service to anyone, they can do that.
I mean, it's still a university, nonprofit, there's cultural issues like, or societal issues. Yes, technically, sure. But then you can get sued.
But they won.
Yeah.
So all good. So that means you can do it. So they can do whatever they want. They can say, you know what, this year we're going to go light on Mexicans.
Light Mexicans.
What?
Like light-skinned or...
Whatever they want.
Okay.
It's like, hey, you know what, we're going to do a light-skinned Mexican year.
But here's the thing. Their universities thrive when they curate the right group of people, right? So
Yeah,
I
but
don't
what's
think...
right, quote unquote? Because right and white sound very similar.
Well, in this case, it's Asian.
Yeah. Well, no, they're keeping them out.
Trust me, there's no shortage of Asians at the best colleges in the country.
Okay. So we don't need to fight for it.
I've seen the alumni directory at Harvard. There's a shitload of Indian people.
I'm just making sure we're fighting for everyone here. I want Indians, Asians, I want everyone to be represented.
So it looks like it's right now at Harvard, it's half white, half non-white.
Wow.
There's room to play there. Get rid of some of those white.
Yeah, exactly.
Why is white half and non-white?
Everyone else.
What? That's probably what's the country?
Not that.
Not that.
40%
We're the
white.
minority now.
40% white.
Yeah. So
not
knock
that
off
far
10%. Give 10% to some Asians and Mexicans.
White people are smart. I never said white people are stupid.
They're not going to give up their power that easily. Come on.
Just saying, man. You gotta 50% white, 50% other.
You got to step it up.
Those aren't
other
good
races.
stats.
You guys got to step it
They
up.
stepped it up. And they were getting great test scores. They got kicked
Not
out.
Asians. Asians don't need to. We're good. We don't need to be admitted more into
I'm
colleges.
saying I don't like 50% white, 50% other. That's not good.
I was on USC campus
This
the other.
podcast isn't even that.
I was on the
The rest of the room's kind of scary.
You're right. You're right.
I was at USC campus the other day. It looked like freaking Bombay.
You're allowed to say that.
Yes, I walked around. I'm like, where the hell am I?
Those are grad students, to be clear.
But it doesn't. I mean, they're still a part of the school.
Yeah, because who wants the graduate degree in electrical engineering? Indian people.
All right, moving on. What's up with Zuckerberg, man? Zuckerberg has beef. It looks like with mainly Elizabeth Warren.
Yep.
But from what I read, if Elizabeth Warren gets elected, the Zucks is fully prepared to sue the U.S. government. He's going to go to war. He's going to do whatever he can to not get broken up. They are the enemy. He's been shaking hands with Trump. I mean, Zucks is ready to go to war.
So there was a all-hands-on meeting in July. Let me tell you who's not reading anonymous questions.
Yeah, no
Mark
shit.
Zuckerberg. You think that he has already read your question because he looked at your computer and said, "Okay, tell Julie and Dave to not come to the fucking meeting."
Yeah, he heard you ask it to your wife last night.
And he's like, "Tell them not to come." He in this all-hands meeting, which I don't understand how. I mean, someone clearly recorded it. There's leaked audio. He's saying he will go to the mat and fight to any calls to spin off businesses like Instagram and WhatsApp. He's really talking about Elizabeth Warren, who's been pressuring big tech for the last 6 months as part of her kind of campaign strategy. And he says stuff like, sucks for us, and then talks about how, a bumpy rollout to Libra, their crypto, how the competition from TikTok. And then he goes on and he just is clearly being very transparent on how he should have been fired, but because he has majority control of the company, you really can't do anything to me.
He says he should have been fired?
Yes, on multiple occasions.
This guy's a monster.
He's a monster.
In my opinion, okay, this leaked, so typically, apparently this has never happened at this length that people have leaked entire audio. So that's the first thing. Now he has probably to be a little more careful because he doesn't just have a bunch of Mark Zuckerberg soldiers working for him. But the separate issue is I don't think there's any controversy in this at all. I know it's been all over the news today. What do you expect him to say? No, we're just going to fold to Elizabeth Warren if she's president.
No, but I think the thing that tipped it all off is I should have been fired on multiple occasions, but luckily I control the majority of this company. And it's just...
I didn't see that part.
Yeah, so that was part of it. And I think that's what scares people is that this guy is operating with no regard for anything.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything actually done wrong here. I just think when it comes to the PR issue that Facebook very much has, it's now at that point where people are dogpiling and everything looks continually worse and worse and worse. And this just this is happening if you know anything about business, but you don't want to hear it.
So put it differently, if the board of directors and his largest investors wanted to fire him, they would do a public campaign and get him out of there. But he's delivered an incredible return. The stock's near an all-time high.
His dirt on everybody.
And none of his biggest stakeholders have any problem. Sure, maybe the way he goes about things. It's when the company stops performing financially, will he ever hit that roadblock? But it's not anytime soon.
But what it sounds like from all of the Facebook naysayers is that he's essentially unfireable.
Yeah.
And he operates that way, and that's part of why he's so reckless.
Yeah, but I mean, other CEOs have been forced out.
But maybe just the way we don't know the structure, because everyone keeps discussing what Drama is saying is that the structure that's set up, you cannot.
But
get rid of
my
it.
also point, the other power players within Facebook, his biggest investors and board, have zero interest in him getting fired because he's delivered quarter after quarter for the last decade.
Yeah. That's probably true. I think it's more hearing him say, because a lot of the criticism has been that he acts like he knows he can't be fired, and hearing him say it out loud is like, damn, this dork is really on a frickin' mission.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be really interesting. I think he's going to face uphill challenges. I don't know in what capacity he will change or if at all, but it's not going to be an easy road.
Business people and billionaires are terrified of Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, everyone
Is
is.
she? Does she look like the front runner?
No, not right now, but it's still a lot of time.
But she's
She's one of the 3 or 4 that people are talking about.
in Iowa. She's leading over Biden. In Iowa already. Not Biden is not going to be the nomination.
But I think if Warren wins the nomination, you're going to see a lot of people, the closet vote for Trump.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bill Gates believes in a wealth tax, though.
Yeah, he's been
Public.
pro about
Warren
that, all
Buffett
that, yeah.
believes in a wealth tax.
Yeah, yeah.
They all do.
Well, they should sign up to give it away.
They are giving it away. They're giving away their entire.
Well, I don't have polio. Okay, moving on. Big news. It looks like this is big news. So there was this cop in Dallas, Amber Geiger, who
not related to John Geiger.
not related to John
Our good
Geiger.
friend.
So yep. Who there was this mix-up. She came home. Story's really shady.
What I don't understand about the story. So
Yeah.
the story is that she accidentally went into an apartment that she thought was hers.
That wasn't.
Have you ever? I've lived in many places in my life. I've never accidentally walked in anywhere.
I've never done it, but I've heard of it being done like in hotel rooms when you're like blacked out.
Okay,
drunk.
hotel rooms, very different
I get
story.
it. I get it.
Okay,
So the whole story's shady.
she was probably on drugs.
I think she's
People
either
have
on
done it in
drugs
my
or
apartment building.
there was some beef with this
Just walked
guy.
in.
Yeah, last year.
And what did they do?
They got so scared and they just ran away. I don't know if they were going up to the 3rd floor.
But
or
did they
4th
live
floor.
in your building?
I'm assuming so.
That
Or
happened
you-
to one of my friends in the middle of the night in his apartment. Somebody broke in and he beat the shit out of him because he thought he was getting robbed. And turned out they were blacked out and thought they were in their own apartment. Didn't work out well.
Oh wow.
But the point is, so either she's wasted, which isn't part of the story, I don't believe,
No, it doesn't say.
or whatever. She had some beef and went down there and lit the guy up and thought like, whatever, I can get away with this because I'm a cop. I'll make up a story. Either I don't know, but the story doesn't check out.
Yeah.
Point is, she walks into somebody else's apartment, shoots and kills the guy whose apartment it is, sitting in his own apartment,
Eating ice cream.
eating frickin' ice cream. And of course, this becomes national news. Now, this is another story I thought it's going to blow over.
Yeah.
She's going to get fired. That's about it.
Because she was a cop.
She has been found guilty of murder.
Wow.
So,
There's a sliver of hope.
What's
Even
that?
though this is like
Yeah.
the most insane case, because if she was on duty, I don't think she would have been found guilty. If she was on duty.
but you would never be on duty going home to your apartment, right?
No, I'm just saying if there was an incident where they
Yeah.
mistakenly
Yeah,
walked
yeah.
into the wrong person's house and
Yeah.
shot them,
Yeah.
I don't think she would have been found guilty.
I will also say that Dallas, despite Texas being super MAGA, Dallas is the one liberal
a lot of Indians.
enclave.
Sheesh.
There are a lot of Indians in Dallas.
Sounds, from your take, like there's just Indians overrunning everywhere.
Yes.
There's
We're 1/5 of the world.
You're 2/3 of this podcast.
And we are multiplying
Maybe this
aggressively.
podcast is a good representation of the country.
I'm taking over.
Just a stupid white guy and two smart Indians.
This is the problem at Harvard. There's too many of us.
Either way, whatever. At least this is good. Like, I think any little bit of just the right decision being made is so good. From what I hear, the police entering the wrong building and shooting people, or mistaken, like, oh, I thought there was a call that there was a robbery here, but there wasn't, and shooting people, it happens frequently.
Yep.
I mean, this guy got killed eating
Sitting in
ice
his
cream in
apartment
his
eating
own
ice cream.
apartment. That's
It's too
devastating.
crazy.
It's ridiculous.
So anyway, whatever, good. I hope she goes to jail for life.
Yeah, I think she's facing
I mean,
it.
you want to talk about who would have probably the hardest time ever in jail? A cop that walked into a black guy's house and killed him
Yep.
Yeah.
for no reason. You're done.
Done.
I'd rather get the death penalty than go to jail and be her.
Really?
Yes. You're going to get just the shit kicked out of you and
Right.
whatever the worst thing can happen every day.
That's interesting.
You're a cop.
She's a female, though. Not to doubt females.
Have you seen Scared Straight Female Edition?
Is
You
that the
watch
thing
Orange
on
is the New Black?
MSNBC or CNBC? One of those.
Scared Straight?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of those. It's where the kids go.
Yeah.
And but like, there's
I feel
those
like
chicks
the
in there
women
would
jails are
beat my
equally as
ass.
scary as the male jails.
I think we should lock up Pete in a women's jail.
He ain't
He would
surviving.
get his ass
He would
beat
get the
so
shit
hard.
kicked
How much
out of
money
him.
are we talking?
For if you did 1 week, I give you 10 grand.
No way, bro.
You
They
can't
would
win.
have you in a wig and just be
Give me
They'll
50
doing it?
grand.
making sweet
50 grand
love
for a
to
week,
your
I'll do
mouth.
it.
50 grand for a week.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yes. Yeah.
It might be
We're
worth
not going to
it.
GoFundMe that.
We might be able to get a sponsor for that.
we could
It's
go
brought to you
viral.
by Ladder.
Pete is going to an all
Ladder's
women's
juiced up,
penitentiary.
juicing him up with all the protein to survive.
Yeah, good luck, bro. You will get the shit kicked out of you.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know so.
Yeah.
There's
You
only one way to find out.
I think you get shanked. You may die.
They play by different rules. Man.
Yeah.
You're not built
what if
for
I
prison.
bring a shank?
Good luck.
I'm telling you, any prison, women's, juvenile, and obviously men's, you're getting the shit kicked out of you, and you're making sweet, sweet love to somebody. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about sports. It looks like Nike. So part of the benefits of being a Nike athlete, right? It's really cool. You get like the best clothes, shoes, get paid really handsomely. Huge campaigns.
Huge campaign.
Their campaign with Colin Kaepernick just won an Emmy.
Amazing.
Lots of benefits. One of the benefits I wasn't aware of is you get the absolute top level doping program.
It's amazing.
They want their athletes to win.
Yes.
They say, we're the best of the best.
Just do it.
Just do it, meaning put the needle in the arm, push it down. Whatever this is, it'll help you run faster, jump higher.
Here's this cream.
It's not the shoes, it's the injection.
It's got to be the injection.
So what's going on? The Nike CEO has been caught in an email trail with a famous doping coach talking about how he's going to dope up Nike athletes, and the CEO's down for it?
Yeah, so this has been going on as far as we know, at least since July 2009. So the CEO of Nike has been found to have email trails with a famous track and field coach that has been banned for doping his athletes. And their emails back and forth about what the right cocktail of medicine these athletes should take to kind of evade testing. This is going to improve their time. I have a strong suspicion this story is just starting, and you have the biggest athletic brand, one of the biggest forces in sports, complicit in doping athletes. Think about that.
What is he, like, why? Number one, what are you doing? Sure, morally, all that stuff. Why are you emailing back and forth?
Look
like
what he
you're
wrote
ordering
on
dinner?
email. Look what he wrote on email. Jeff, thanks for the update on the test. It will be interesting to determine the minimal amount of topical male hormone required to create a positive test. This is on email. This is Mark Parker, CEO of Nike. And, unfortunately, the Michael Avenatti case that got thrown out is a joke because it's Michael Avenatti. He had so much dirt on them in regards to paying in terms of college students. Mm-hmm. Everyone knows they've been complicit in that forever. They just have never been really busted. This is also, when you're at the level they're at, they are shifting sports. They are shifting energy that we don't even know that's going on.
I think the real smoking gun is this is just talking about a fringe sport like track and field.
Which
Where
nobody
does
cares
Nike make its money? Basketball.
Yeah.
Football. So you're telling me if he's willing to dope his track athletes, what's he doing with the NBA and NFL guys?
With the king.
Yeah. I need to check this ladder, man. I got a jug full of ladder beside me.
There's like a running joke among like NBA like media. If you look at any other sport, like baseball, NFL, like stars get busted for performance enhancing drugs all the time. Alex Rodriguez went down. NFL has tons of guys. If you went through the list in the last 15 years, there's probably like 12 guys in the NBA. There's no way you've heard of any of them. So you're telling me in a sport where it pays to jump faster, be stronger, recover better in an 82-game season plus playoffs plus Olympics. These guys are playing all year round. You think it doesn't
That's what I'm
benefit
telling
them?
you. That they don't.
What do you mean?
They don't do it.
They don't do it, man.
Just don't do
They just
it.
hit up Mike, and he freaking says, "Hey, let me hook
Mark
up with
Parker.
Mark, sorry, let me hook you up
I mean,
with a cocktail."
if you want to go conspiracy theory, right? Nike, the NBA, it's no one's interest to bust these guys, right?
No. No one wants to see Kyrie out 30 games. PED.
I knew the king just was too muscular. His muscle build for his age, it's ridiculous.
But football, someone gets busted every other day.
Yeah.
Because, really, there's no, business in football. Nike, sure, it's something, but it's not like basketball.
Yeah, basketball is the only sport in the U.S. that's growing globally. So there's a lot of money.
What are you doing on an email? Like you're talking to a personal trainer.
Yeah.
Yeah, my point is if you're willing to pay attention to track athletes doping that are Nike athletes,
Maybe he's fond of running.
well, that's the genesis of Nike, right?
Yeah.
Phil Knight loves running. You think Phil Knight said let's only
Yeah.
dope our running
Listen, we have a
athletes?
doping rule, only running because that's where we started.
But, on another topic, any people that work at Nike, I would love that topical cream as I am a runner and I'm not really competing, but anything to heal me,
Sure.
run faster,
Sure, yeah,
I'm
you're
totally
not-
interested.
You're not getting tested.
Grand AC Run Club should put out
Steroids.
Imagine if you got the Nike steroid topical cream, branded,
hot.
the highest dose just to evade a test, just in case.
I don't even want to invade. What do I care about that? I'm not getting tested.
Okay,
Who's
double
testing
it,
me, Luke?
Double it. Double
T,
it.
why'd you run a 7:30 mile?
Yeah. Okay. Well, moving on. Let's talk about some pop culture news. Number one, Bieber's already married.
Amazing. And the wedding pictures look great.
Turn that around right away.
That was all over my Instagram feed.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted to post that as soon as they were allowed to.
Of course.
Merch. We saw some merch. We saw Hailey Bieber and Justin's little photo booth pics. It's great.
Okay. Well, it is what we thought it would be.
Yeah.
Okay. That aside, I want to talk about Todd Phillips. Todd Phillips, the famous director, mostly known for comedy, movies like The Hangover. Did this article about, or this interview about, he just directed The Joker. And he did this whole article about how comedy is dead. It's in a very bad spot because of everyone being so damn woke. And so he decided to go a darker route and direct something like The Joker. But it's a really interesting take on, we talked earlier, like a month or so ago, about why there's no good comedy movies. And you guys actually brought that up and said it's because everyone's too woke and comedy.
Except Rebel Wilson. Shout out to Rebel.
Garbage, man. Those
I
movies
think
are garbage.
They're amazing.
Yeah,
Isn't
could
it
The Hangover
romantic
be
or whatever?
released today?
No
in
way.
2019?
He Paging Doctor.
He outside yelled, paging Dr. Maggot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yelled it. You couldn't do that now.
I know.
But I will say, I think I think it's starting to change. I really think that Chappelle and even the Bill Burr special and all these different ones were so raw. But it is interesting. It's funny to hear it from, because we just never heard it. Like, we heard it from comedians. We didn't hear it from movie directors.
Yeah.
That they feel like comedy's dead as a genre. And so instead you're going to go with
Yeah,
crazy freaking Joker
Look,
guy.
look what Todd, this is exactly what Todd Phillips said. Go try to be funny nowadays with this woke culture. I'll tell you, and then they asked him, why won't comedies work anymore? I'll tell you why. Because all the fucking funny guys are like, fuck this shit, because I don't want to offend you. It's hard to argue with 30 million people on Twitter. You can't do it. So you just go, I'm out. That's pretty, because he is, if you look at his credits, he's made some of the most
Yeah.
iconic funny
Old
movies.
school,
Like,
Hangover.
Yeah, you're not making any of those today.
no, you can't.
No.
And they're hysterical.
It'll come back. It has to come back. I honestly think we're right on the verge of a time when, like, the woke stuff is a complete joke and has no power.
It's possible, but you now have a 5-year window where we haven't had great comedy movies.
I haven't
and
laughed
longer.
in 5 years.
But Chappelle just, like, you know what I mean? That thing that you saw in Chappelle felt like, okay, thank God, reality's back.
But here's the thing. I didn't watch the Bill Burr because I don't find him funny. But
You have to watch it.
I watched 1 minute of another special and it was horrendous. What's
With
up with
Bill
his
Burr?
voice?
Yeah, it's weird. It's, yeah.
Okay.
It's just like that.
Okay.
But you have to watch it just for the state of
Okay,
comedy.
but here's this. I think the reason why Dave Chappelle works because of his delivery, because of his storytelling. If you just are just full on raw back Eddie Murphy style or Richard Pryor, that won't work.
Eddie Murphy apologized. Eddie Murphy
Did he?
apologized for his previous.
For Delirious and Raw,
And
the
said,
greatest
Oh my God.
stand-ups
He
ever.
apologized. Nobody even said anything. It's because he's about to release a new special, I think with Netflix.
Oh my.
He started by apologizing and saying, I had been broken up with. I was in a bad mental place. It was irresponsible of me. He freaking apologized.
He can't
This-
apologize.
and the reason why I'm scared for your optimism of comedy, like Chappelle can do it. He's also the greatest of all time,
Yeah, but that's what it took to kick the door.
right?
You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. I think it takes the greatest of all time to kick a door. now you can all rush through it. I'm just saying, if you listen to like even Chris D'Elia on his podcast and all of these different comedians, there's this unified like, fuck that woke shit
Yeah.
happening across all things.
I'm
And
just scared for the up and coming director and writer that's not going to want to risk their career for being blacklisted for doing something too provocative.
Agreed, but just like anything else, the moment that it shows that it's safe to do, people will fly. They can't wait.
Right.
People can't wait. Most people feel how we feel. Most people are not woke.
Right.
They're just louder. But Eddie Murphy freaking apologized, man. My heart
That's
was broken.
sad.
That is horrendous.
Okay, let's close this out with this. D, you're really big on these lists and tests and average income of a white man under 100 pounds in middle America. You have a new one that apparently tells you what your wealth number is. So we're going to find out what everyone's wealth number is, but it says find out how rich you are on a scale from -2 to 11.
Yeah.
What's with that weird wonky scale?
So Bloomberg came up with this scale because they just felt like it was easier to assign a group of people based on this scale instead of an absolute number.
-2 seems disrespectful.
-2 is negative net worth. You're worth less than 1 cent.
I mean, isn't that like a lot of people?
So
Like your debt.
so
is bigger
negative. So from 1 cent to $100 net worth, that's -2 to 2. There's 1.5 billion people who fall into this bracket.
Yep.
Okay.
Those are mostly people in rural villages around
Yes.
the world.
In the category 3 is a $1,000 net worth. That's 1.7 billion. And that's your median American renter. That's who they're following in this category.
What's the globe? 7 billion?
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 4 is $10,000 net worth. That's 1.3 billion. What you can afford: new car, median American family headed by someone with no college education.
Okay.
Number 5, $100,000 net worth. That's 436 million. Those people can afford a mortgage. This is the equivalent of AOC after a year or two on a congressional salary. That's how they categorize that one.
Okay.
Number 6 is you have a net worth of 1 million. 40 million adults fall under this bracket, which is shockingly
lot.
low.
Yeah.
Really?
In the whole world, 40 million people?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Second home, people that can have a second home, things like that. Number 7, 10 million. 1.7 million adults are in that world. Third home is really that
See, this is where the flaw is. Third home, wherever you
Third
want.
home? Who wrote this
Wherever you
frickin'
want.
list?
I can't even buy one home for 10 million where I want.
Yeah, that's a joke.
But you got an apartment in Montauk.
But what did it say second? Yeah, what did it say second home was
By the shore.
$1
By the
Sure,
million dollar
that's
level?
fine.
That's fine. You
That's
could-
like you can go to some
Oxnard.
podunk town and
Yeah.
on the water. Third home, wherever you want, is a misnomer.
Okay, 100 million is 8. 49,000 people in the world are in this. And they use this as you can name a college building. Number 9, 1 billion. 2,700 people. You can name a college. That's how they...
You have to be a little richer than that. You can name
Yeah,
a
I
poor
mean-
college.
Yeah, they didn't say name Harvard. They just said name a shitty college. Grand Canyon University. You could probably name that.
Shout out to our listeners.
I mean, geez.
Number 10 is 10 billion. There's 150 people. You could buy a sports team.
That was a good way to
Yeah.
think about it. 10 billion sports team.
Yeah.
I believe in
Elon
that
Musk
math.
is in this category.
Yeah, but name it. Yeah, okay.
Number 11, which is the highest, 100 billion. And there's only 2 people.
Who?
Bill Gates.
Bernard.
Bernard?
Well, it's
And Bill
actually,
Gates,
yes,
3.
it's 3.
There's 3.
This guy's a who writes these articles?
Bloomberg,
man?
it just, stock goes down a couple days. Your numbers
But
go
like
down.
second home for $1 million, third home 10 million, anywhere you want.
Well,
just do a better. Just do a
But we're thinking in the sphere
We're
of
thinking
LA.
LA, New York.
If you live in
anywhere you want. It said anywhere you want.
Okay,
That-
but
that-
like if
that
you
was
live
the
in
one that was
Shanghai,
on-
you want it on the Chinese shore. It's probably a lot cheaper.
The Arctic shore.
The Arctic shore is cheap. The shores of India are cheap.
Okay, I guess. What's the lesson learned? We can have homes anywhere we want.
According to this, but doesn't feel like it.
Gosh. Okay. Well, listen, we love a good list. I'm telling you, as we grow and evolve, we need to put out this type of content more. We talked about our top, like our 30 under 30.
Yeah.
We're going to figure that out. We're working on it.
I'm going to do 40 over 40.
Yeah, whatever.
The oldest, most successful people.
Yeah. We should do 8 over 80.
10 over
under 10.
100 over 100.
Yeah, 1 over 100. Just pick our favorite old dude or girl. So we got to do that, but we also got to do like a more, like if we did a breakdown of like the income of the country, we could do it in our way.
Yeah, of
because
how we talk about
I think the stats are great because they actually say the number of people.
That's great.
But then the way they annotate it has.
Yeah, like
is
imagine
flawed.
if we did like, you could
10 million bucks.
afford
You can
10 million bucks in
VIP.
LA.
You can rent an apartment in Beverly Hills.
Yes, that's what it is. That's literally
apartment
what
in
it is.
Beverly Hills and Coachella VIP access.
Yeah, not all access.
Yeah. Okay, that'd be good. We should do that. Okay, we did it, guys.
Ciao.
Happy frickin', you know what? I didn't say it. Happy hump day.
Ah.
Okay, there we go. We'll see ya. Make sure you hit up that newsletter, group-chat/group-chat.com. Link is in the description. Come to one of our events.
Our big.
like 4 weeks.
Bro, the words are too similar.
You just got back to America. Relax.
Yeah, shut up. You were back with the -2ville for a while.
Yeah.
You just got back to a 4.
Yeah.
Shut up. Our live
You got to be at
events-
least a 3 to talk here.
Yeah. Live events are popping off. Make sure you come. And we'll see you on Friday.
Boom.
Boom.